Callie.
I'm doing great, thanks. I'm doing some home repairs today. That's why I kind of was finicky about the schedule here. So
you're doing what?
I'm doing some home repairs, some pulling up flooring. But I'm in my kids' room right now because it's the farthest away from the tools. My dad's running some saws downstairs. So
farthest away from the tools.
From the tools.
Yeah, keep your kids away from the tools.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They're probably saying the same thing about you. I'm as far away from that tool as I can get right now.
Yeah. I did determine I'd have a hard time being a personal contractor because like an hour into it, I'm like, I can't do this sober. I got to do this with a few beers. My dad's, we're using power tools. You probably shouldn't be drinking beers. I'm like,
oh,
you're using power tools. I'm holding the tape measure, man.
Yeah, I love it. Now your dad's working and you're podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't ever ask me to come over to help.
Yeah.
You say it's for work, people don't question you.
What, drinking?
Podcasting, yeah. But yeah, you know.
Wait, not in our business. Not in our business.
Little column A, little column B, yeah.
Furlough Friday 28 is some of my best friends, people I admire, that I like to talk to, which is a good thing because I don't like to talk to a lot of people, believe it or not.
Not a people person. How you doing, William? We haven't met yet.
Good. I'm CJ. Oh, is it still showing William Charlton on this thing?
Probably, yeah. CJ, yeah.
Hey, man. I'm Callie, but it says I'm Herbie, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking to see.
Dude, what is wrong with you? You didn't catch that last time, Tyler?
What?
His name?
Oh, I caught it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not just a good-looking hat rack, BA.
What's that?
I notice things.
I like that. Yeah.
That like your hat rack, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, Furlough Friday 28 with CJ Charlton and our very own Callahan.
Hey.
Herbie versus. Wow.
It's all in the pause. You have to pause in the right place.
It's all about the pause and the timing.
Lives. Let's eat, Grandma.
Yeah, I don't. This isn't necessarily podcast worthy conversation, but Callie, I was going to ask if you're coming to my 3-day retirement party that I'm apparently having.
I would love to. And that March 9th, is that right?
19th through 21st.
It's on my calendar.
Awesome. CJ, you're more than welcome too. We'll be St. Pete Beach, drinking way too much. Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. Hold on a second. What are those dates?
19 through 21 March.
Because I got a bid for that.
Yeah, I don't, but yeah. Actually, you know what? I may have to. Well, I might be training, but
I see no conflict at this point, Tyler. So I think I'm gonna give you a 90% in.
Awesome.
I'd love to come. I think I told you last podcast that I was in. So,
yeah, I thought we were gonna do like Barefoot Billy's dive bar type thing on like a Tuesday, but Nate is quite motivated with this plan. So
now, is he retiring too?
No. I mean, eventually, but Aaron's not letting him retire. He's going to pay their taxes.
He's not going to retire ever. He's just going to die. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Because he got to gain some rank, doesn't he? He's just a lieutenant colonel. He's got to put on the 06 to stay.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. You got to be timing out soon.
And that's not going to happen because, well, Nate. So
I think he's going to stick around till next year's bonus and then.
Oh, yeah. They're still giving out that bonus? Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
So what are we drinking, gentlemen? First, nobody's flying tomorrow, so it's okay. Wow. Rum?
Figured I'd step it up a little bit since we're fucking pirates.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now
I'm not really a rum guy, but
that is impressive. We're working on something, by the way. I got a little something trying to manifest itself, Tyler. I got hopefully it'll be a good announcement later on, but man, I'm impressed. I am. CJ, what you got? I saw you digging into your refrigerator.
I am easy. I'm just hypnotic today. I got stuff to do later.
You're gonna be
stereotype the
there. You go. There you go.
Situation. Did you just?
Is this better? You want me to
There
hold
it
this
is.
up? Act like that's what I'm doing by jumping
There
on
we
Jack?
go.
Kind of like the
How does-
hypnotic.
How does that go with the blue stuff?
I love how like it did not take any like persuasion. CJ's just like, I'm not taking this shit.
Yeah,
Love
CJ, I'm susceptible to peer pressure too. I always fall for it.
He's still
Oh,
gonna
you
drink
see,
the
I'm still
hypnotic.
drinking the blue.
Oh, okay.
He's still gonna drink the hypnotic, but just have that next.
I just brought this to show that I can be part of the squad if called upon.
Hey man,
Oh, you're gonna give me shit next. So I grabbed a unicorn lunchbox, and
Yes.
What's in it?
it's full of these Founders Solid Gold beer.
That's amazing.
I'm just drinking beers, but I got a lunchbox full of
You
them.
put it in your kid's lunchbox. That's Dad of the Year award kind of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, so while we're talking about beers, I know Brandon, you haven't gone yet, but I did an interview for the Opportunity Hour today, and the guy that I interviewed, he's a captain at Killa, and his last name is Hilsenbeck. Well, he majored in like international business and German, and for whatever reason, back in like 2000, he went over to Germany and found some long lost cousins whose last name is also Hilsenbeck that have a brewery that has been in place since like 1728.
This is the plot of Beer Fest. Are you sure?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's 100% the plot of Beer Fest.
Well, so what he did is he built a business around importing family beer into the U.S.
But did he know that these people were his family or what?
I think he knew he had family. I think he reached out to them while he was there and then found out about the brewery. So, yep.
That's awesome. Yeah. How bizarre.
How bizarre.
But yeah, if you haven't seen that movie in a while, you just described the entire plot. Like they go from Colorado, they think they're meeting their cousins, they think they'll be all nice to them, and they kick their ass because they were brewing their German beer in Colorado without permission.
Oh man.
Yeah. Then there's some beer pong and stuff that goes on, but that's a cool story. I will check out that podcast once you drop it. So how long is that one? Like 2 or 3 days?
Probably drop it not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a couple in the bank.
Yeah.
So as we record this, it's Inauguration Day,
Yes.
right? Wow.
I had it on all day when I was doing all the work on the house. So I don't think I'd watched one Soup to Nuts since 2000. So that was actually kind of interesting.
We were hoping like something was gonna happen. I don't know. Like Trump may do something or
do a flyby in Air Force One during the ceremony.
Can you imagine him doing a flyby in Air Force One? That would have been great. Or at least Marine One. Was he still in it when the whole thing started going, or what?
No, he was. They showed his arrival at Mar-a-Lago at like 11 o'clock, and then they started rolling into to the Capitol. About 15 minutes later. So he was out. I don't know. You can spin it either way. In a way, he probably did him a better service just by out the way. Like,
and everybody was giving him shit.
Yeah. It's how you want to take it, but. Yeah, in the end, he did not have a parting shot, a parting dig. He just kind of hopefully faded off.
Faded away.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing. You look at, all the presidents that are alive. Anytime you have like a funeral or any like huge event, all these like past presidents come back for these big events. And I have a feeling Trump won't be attending too many of these.
Right. Yep.
You don't think he's gonna make it?
To go.
To be fair, Carter skipped it too.
Well, Carter is 180 years
That's a whole different story.
Jesus, Carter's made it to all of the fact that the man is still alive. Who knew? Peanuts, peanut butter, apparently.
He was inaugurated 46 years ago. Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy as hell.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's okay for him to skip one as long as he's still breathing.
So let me tell you what's crazy. Yeah, I was saying this is what was crazy about it. So this morning I roll over, wake up to at about 6:15, 6:20 in the morning to CNN. On the TV is the president of my alma mater, who's also my fraternity brother. We went to school at the same time, and he is the CEO of Biden's inauguration committee.
Wow.
So he's on CNN telling him everything that's going on. And of course, I'm man crushing. So I'm texting him in the middle of the interview just to be like, hey, just wanted to let you know I saw you. Good job. Good shit. Way to represent the school, yada, yada, yada. My man crush went into ecstasy because less than a minute after he got off of the interview, he texted me back. I was like,
oh, the first guy. That's awesome.
You got
Yeah.
teary-eyed, didn't you? You got a little teary-eyed.
Yeah, I did. You can see I still have the dry tears, salty tears in the corners of my eyes.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm feeling myself. I ended up calling my brother and reminding him to make sure he stays near me for all of 2021 with a safety pin to prick my head because of how swollen it's going to be because of all the stuff that we have going on.
Oh, well, if you were real good friends, you would have seen him glance down at his phone mid-interview.
Right. Selfie.
Yeah.
Oh, CJ's texting me. He's like on CNN texting him back.
Hang on. Yeah.
Not that cool.
So Jimmy Carter, Betty White, Mick Jagger. Who do you have? Who's gonna make it the longest?
Oh, I thought it was gonna marry, kill, bang. Is that?
We'll do that one next.
Okay.
Who's gonna live?
Betty White. Betty White.
You think Betty White's gonna go before Carter?
No, he said, who do you think is going to make it? I think she's going to be the last person standing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would have been my pick.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger.
Now,
because he's embalmed.
now Mary Megan.
Sorry, CJ. I mean, you think Mick's got it, huh?
I'm just throwing names out there.
I don't know. I think when he goes sober, the cumulative hangover will just kill him.
Yeah,
it could.
That's what I'm thinking.
Medicated is the only way to go in his life.
Yeah, you got to keep up with your habits, man, good or bad. There's no such thing at that point.
Your body's used to it by that point.
Yeah,
it's required for survival.
He's got to keep it.
In his life, in his mind, he's already outlived David Bowie. So
you know what? Here's the thing. More importantly, or just as a thought, and we should consider, how long is Biden gonna last, and when does Harris become our 47th president?
Next term. He'll make it through this term.
I don't think he's gonna make it 2 years.
I think he will. But ironically, I was having this conversation with one of my staunch Republican compatriots before I got on this, and we were having the conversation about it. And I told him, I said, it doesn't matter whether you're Democrat or Republican, for the point that I'm getting ready to make. If the Republican Party is fractured right now.
Oh, yeah.
But the irony about it is, I think if it completely fractures, you will see the return of the traditional Republican Party that we know, that, the one that always stands up and talks about we're the party of Lincoln, the one that puts civil rights and all that stuff in place. And then you're going to have the extremist faction.
Yeah.
The thing that I was saying was, regardless of whether it sticks together or not, unless Kamala really F's it up, she's about to be your president in 4 years, because even if Trump were to survive the impeachment and the pending civil lawsuits that are about to come upon him and his empire, which might possibly cripple him, I think that if he comes back, he's stymieing potential stars of the party like Nikki Haley and some of the up and comers that are really legitimate, because you only have a small window. Biden has now demonstrated himself to be the exception to the rule. But how many times did he run and couldn't even get out of the primary?
Yep. Yeah. I would report to that at the end when things fell apart. Just look and see who distanced themselves from the Trump administration.
Oh, yeah.
I think the last thing they were chanting was hang Mike Pence, right?
Yeah.
So he did a pretty good job of Heismaning the rest of those, the crazies, for lack of a better word. Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, they all eventually, I don't want to say folded or caved, but they saw the writing on the wall, started to put distance between themselves. So I think you're going to see a very different candidate from the Republican side in 4 years.
I wonder who that's going to be. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
My whole guard, though.
Whatever you're, if you're taking bets, that's who I'm.
Who'd you say?
Who?
My horse is Rand Paul. I think.
Wow, that's. I'm voting for Nikki. I'm voting for Nikki Haley.
Yeah, I was a big fan of his dad. Big fan of him, especially. 4 years ago, I was kind of hoping he was going to eclipse Trump. Never happened, but I still think I still think he, like, when he opens his mouth in the Senate, everyone listens, not just his.
I think Rand Paul. I view Rand Paul as the Republican version of Joe Biden.
Sure.
He is. I mean, when you really look at it and how long he's been in there, and like you said, when he opens his mouth, save the stuff, even the stuff that people are getting upset about, the fact that he has the tenacity to actually say it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether I agree. I mean, he speaks the truth. This is how I feel.
He could criticize Trump and get away with it and not be fired.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I think Trump was actually kind of afraid of him.
I kind of like Crenshaw and his eye patch. Who's the
that was out of left field.
Who is the female Hawaii?
Oh yeah, she's good too.
Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, can you have a Republican and a Democrat? I don't know. Can you have them on the same ticket?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, she's pretty. Yeah, I mean, I know you can, but can you? I don't know. She's middle of the road. I don't know.
Yeah, in history, what president did that? Man, because you used to have to vote.
It goes all the way to the back before we fell into the two-party system.
Yeah, exactly.
We had the Federalists and the other parties.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lincoln was the first third-party candidate to win because he was the first Republican to take it. Before that, you're right. It was the Federalists and the Whigs or something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Way back. No.
The Whigs. Because
we're opening an episode of Drunk History here. No copyright. No copyright infringement intended. Comedy Central.
We'll be all right.
I love how we I guess it's election season, but we've done quite well staying away from politics for 6 months, and then
I know.
Yeah. Now the cat's out of the bag, I guess.
Well, I figured, this time it's inauguration day. I mean,
right.
Might as well say a few words, but not to be undone with our next topic, because the next topic is actually near and dear to my heart. And I think it's more important for Callie. At what point did you know that you were a Wu-Tang fanatic?
Oh, geez. Fanatic's a hard word, because I think when it really started to solidify for me, and this is silly, it's dumb, but when you're growing up, when you're in high school, right? Early 90s, there was the East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry going, right?
Yeah.
And I was in the Midwest, so I kind of had to choose a side. And I gotta say, this is so stupid.
You had to choose a side.
Gotta choose a side, man. You do.
In case somebody, it was dumb. In case somebody asks, hey, are you West Coast? I didn't know. The white kid in Pittsburgh, right? So I weighed my options, and I gotta say, the tipping point of the scales was the Wu-Tang Clan. Because I was like, there's Biggie and there's Pac, of course, and there's Dre and I'm Sugar Hill and all these guys, and I know Bone Thugs were big, and they were kind of from they're from Cleveland, right? But it was the Wu-Tang Clan that said no, I'm East Coast. So wow. I'm gonna say 1993.
90.
So you really got to pinpoint it. And then it was by the time Biggie got shot, then I was full on with them. So, how about you, Brandon? Yeah.
Well, considering I'm a New Yorker and basically the same age as those guys and grew up with them from the beginning. I mean, we were high, we run around the streets trying to recite lyrics.
Okay, so what was your first CD you ever purchased?
CD or tape cassette?
Yeah, really.
Come on, Tyler.
The actual CD, when you got a CD player. I don't even want to say because it's pretty.
Say it.
It was automatic.
Celine Dion.
It was REM.
You'd stand the single.
It was the one after that. It was Automatic for the People. It was the one that had the Andy Kaufman song on it and stuff.
Oh
yeah. It was a good disc, but that was the first CD. I had tons of tapes before that, but they were pre-emo. I don't know.
Do you
Like,
guys do you remember the
kept
CD?
REM, you'd eventually start listening to all the other, skinny kids that cut themselves.
Do you remember that CD club that you could like buy one CD and get like 8 free in the mail? What was it called? Columbia, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Those are the days. But see, I remember cassette tapes though. So hell, I remember 8-track. So when I was a kid, my mom had a Chevy Nova with an 8-track player in it. It was amazing. Looking back. So the first piece of music.
You were really dating yourself.
I know, it's bad. But the first piece of music was Nas Illmatic, a cassette tape, to which I still have.
And you have a player for it, huh?
I do not.
You know what the beauty of cassettes were? Because vinyl, you could still move the needle. You could pick whatever song you wanted. You could flip the thing over and check out the B side, right?
Right.
CDs, you just push whatever track you want. And now with your iPod, you can, or your iPhone, whatever, you can pick whatever you want. But with tapes, you were more likely to listen to the thing, track 1 to track 12.
Yep.
And you listen to it and then listen to it again. And I think I appreciated the music I listened to a whole lot more when I had to listen to it on a tape, than being able to skip through it. And that's a sign of the times. I don't know. You think most of the evolution is moving forward, but
well, yeah, you had tapes that you could record on, and then you go to a CD, and until you could burn CDs, there's like a 4-year window where you're like, well,
I don't duplicate.
And honestly, it put more pressure on the artist too to actually come up with an hour and 20 minutes worth of material, where now they can drop their 2 singles on the radio and just fill the rest up with comedy skits. Like, I think I bought one of Ludacris's early CDs, and I'm like, he's got 4 songs on here, and the rest of them is him like fucking around with his friends, which I laughed at.
All that?
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Was
do you have Luda when he was peddling him out of the trunk of his car, or Luda after he got picked up by a label?
I got the first one he got
picked up.
It was it was
because they always commercialize shit to make them more palatable to the audience and crossover genre initially.
Of course. Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't have any of his early shit, but I remember that CD. It was the first one that I was like listening to, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna get back to any kind of songs, because I've just heard him like doing these skits and his with his buddies.
Yeah.
Which Wu-Tang did some fun ones too.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hey, it doesn't matter what they did. Seeing them on Dave Chappelle.
Oh, hell
hilarious.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah. So what ever happened at that? So was it true that Dave Chappelle, with his new when they came out on Netflix, he's like telling people not to watch it because he's not getting paid from any of that?
Yeah, he wasn't getting his royalties, and he successfully lobbied. Right,
and did they take it, or they actually gave him some scratch for it, or they take it off?
I don't know if they gave. I think they may have just taken it off the air.
Yeah, because I don't see him anymore. So that was true, huh? So Comedy Central.
Well, not just that. It was the Chappelle show.
Chappelle show, not his stand-up.
No.
Yeah, stand-ups and stuff are still good to go.
It's just the Chappelle show, the reboot that they tried to do and make some coin off.
Season 3?
It was all of them. I think it started season 1. I started watching them, and then I heard that. I'm like, oh man, do I got to boycott, man? These are some
honestly, he probably is owed royalties from Key and Peele too. I love those guys. They're funny, but come on, man, they'd be nothing without him. Nobody.
Hey, somebody's got to lay the foundation, and don't hate on them. I love fucking Key and Peele.
No,
they're funny.
They are amazing.
They're funny.
They probably owe our man some money, right?
Oh, they do. It was in his.
It's like Eddie Murphy owes Richard Pryor. Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to lay it down.
Oh yeah, definitely. And hell, who was before Richard Pryor? Was your boy? He's still alive too.
Not Red Fox, because before him,
Red Fox is he's probably one of the original.
Oh no, who's our guy with the ponytail?
I was thinking about Mooney.
Great salt and pepper, great beard. Yeah, but not Paul Mooney. White guy, just unbelievably hilarious. He was
George Carlin.
George Carlin.
Huh?
George Carlin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing comedian.
Oh,
amazing.
No question. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
Man. when he talks about the curse words, and I can't remember what he used to say. There's 5 you can't say on the air, and he would shout them out like.
Motherfucker, yeah.
It was great. We're gonna have to use a lot of stuff like that if we're gonna.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
I'm kidding. I just found a new button. That's all.
I gotta hand it to him. You look at some of the other like successful comedians that in their twilight of their career did kid movies. I'm talking to you, Eddie Murphy, Rob Williams, Adam Sandler. Like they were hilarious as stand-up comedians. They were edgy, they were raunchy, and then they sold out and did Dr. Dolittle. I don't think George Carlin ever did any of that. I think he was a raunchy till the day he died.
It didn't get any worse than, first of all, being Ice Cube and becoming the family, all the little family movies that he's.
Oh yeah, Ice Cube.
Are we there yet?
Oh man!
Look, don't hate people for taking advantage of their celebrity.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying like that.
Look. Does that mean that you're going to hate on me as these upcoming things that we discussed unfold? You're going to accuse me of selling out?
Just because you didn't take advantage of the stardom that Abercrombie and Fitch offered you,
I didn't know about
doesn't mean.
How you go from NWA?
Yeah, I saw a meme. It was like me at work and me with my friends, and me at work. It was the picture of Ice Cube with Elmo, right? And they're talking about something, and then me at home. It's him in his in his 5.0 with his bandana tied forward.
That's
I wish I could find it. I'd share my screen, but I don't know how to do that. We'll post it later.
Definitely not hating. I love the fact that he found his in and he, took it
with Elmo. Yeah, you don't go much more. Much softer than Elmo.
Look, it's funny. A gangbanger with Elmo on Sesame Street.
Yeah. You got that Elmo money.
That is
Come
soft.
on, Ice Cube. Let's practice.
I think I got one of those on here too. Oh man, that's great though. Gotta take advantage of where you can. I mean, they take advantage of him. They made their money off of him, didn't they? So hey, it's all good.
That they did.
Did you watch the movie, the Straight Outta Compton? I think is what it was. No, what was it?
Yeah, Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah. I feel like it was more or less accurate. It does kind of suck that they get to write the narrative after Easy's gone.
Yeah.
It really, like, he had no rebuttal. He had no chance to not be the bad guy in that. And I think that
became the scapegoat.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't quite so clean cut, but
nah. But they got to keep Ray. They got to keep.
Speaking of not rebuttaling anything, has anybody seen the Tiger Woods HBO thing they just put out?
No, I heard about. Like, people are a little bit upset about it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the? Is it just documentary style or what is it?
Yeah, it's a 2-part documentary, but Tiger didn't participate. But like family, friends participated, and there's some stuff that Tiger is not going to be happy that's on there.
Yeah. Wow.
Like all of us, some parts of it are real. The rest of it is embellished. Bothering to get upset about the stuff that's embellished doesn't detract from the shit that's real.
Yeah. Oh no, and and you know what? It didn't take away from his greatness, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big piece of it that he's really not going to like is, one of the guys was talking about his father being a philanderer or whatever with the ladies at the golf course. And they're trying to tie that into the story.
Trying to tie that to his habits now and all that.
Yep.
Oh man, and his dad's not alive, and that's kind of shitty.
Yep.
My favorite piece of perspective on Tiger Woods, to paraphrase Norm Macdonald, have you heard this?
No.
Was basically like, you and me, chance in your lifetime of being married, you maybe have 10 opportunities to commit adultery. Like 10, you think it's 10, maybe it's like 8, right?
Yeah.
So if you go astray one time, then you are like 10% unfaithful. Okay.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, like every day of his entire career, he gets a proposition like, "Hey, Tiger, do you want to end all blows?"
Yeah.
No, okay. And wakes up the next morning like, hey, Tiger, how about I come up to your room and
Oh, yeah. Do all kind of weird.
They were talking about he was in Vegas with Jordan, I think maybe Barkley, or I don't remember. Anyways,
it was the three of them. They're golfing and gambling.
Yeah, so they're in the club with all these girls, and Tiger's like, what do I say to them? And he's like, tell them you're Tiger fucking Woods.
I've heard this before, Tyler. That sounded vaguely familiar.
What do you mean you heard it? That's what Brandon did before he got married. That's what he would say all the time. I'm Brandon fucking Acosta.
But yeah,
Tyler seems to have that same affliction.
20,000 times in your entire career, and you stray 20 times. That's still a 1 out of 10,000, right?
That's 0.001%.
Yeah, that means you were 100 times more faithful than you or I.
Wow.
Chew on that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, those aren't my thoughts. That's Norm Macdonald, but still.
Yeah, you got to get
perspective.
And I'm not talking, and he's not getting proposition from like, soccer mom, the old Flames, or we're talking like Svetlana from, Latvia.
Yeah.
Just calls him up. Hey, my girlfriend gave me your number. What? And and she's stunning, beyond a 10. She doesn't even, not even on our scale. That's who's calling him daily. That's who's propositioning this man daily. I challenge anyone among us.
He's like, no, I'm just going to go to my room and watch some Netflix. Thanks, though.
Yeah, because I don't know what to tell you. Tell me you're Tiger fucking Woods.
We got.
I bet you know who said that. I bet you Jordan said that. It wasn't even Barkley. You expect it from Barkley, but I bet Jordan said it. You know why? Because Jordan was hating a little bit. Because normally he would be able to say that.
Yeah.
In perspective, I guess, and I guess each one of them changed their specific sport, right? And it never looked back, and it was never the same. But I still say Tiger got Jordan on that, man. How do you turn a whole sport? How much is Tiger worth?
I don't think he's not as much as Jordan.
No. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about changing an industry and everything attached to that industry. Jordan didn't do that. Jordan.
Yes, he did. I would argue he did.
No, come on, man.
He changed marketing. He changed sponsorship.
No.
The NBA was floundering when he.
They changed it for him, not the other way around.
But you would still sell out arenas before Jordan played basketball, but nobody had a crowd of thousands of people following him around a golf course, thousands.
Nobody.
Right.
It's relative. It's relative to the draw of the sport.
Sure. That's the thing, though. The draw of golf. There was no draw.
Yeah.
Like he created.
And keep in mind, golf, it's like soccer, tennis. It's international. Like there are golfers in every country.
It is.
By and large, I know there's the Chinese circuit and there's some stuff in America, but by and large, you want to play basketball, you play in the US, right?
Yeah.
But guys play golf all over the world. So on the world stage, Tiger was an American that was dominating. So I think he changed the sport for us. That
so many different ways, man. When you look at his impact, don't get me wrong. Obviously, Jordan had a significant impact on sports and the sport of basketball. But
time out.
And you're right, CJ. Apparel, like he was the first guy to really take that to the next level.
I did not know that Joe Exotic from Tiger King did not get a pardon from Trump.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Yeah.
No.
Did you see his limo?
I was just kidding.
Yes.
What was that in the back? Like a cage for what was going on?
Had the limo waiting. They just knew he was going to get pardoned. Didn't happen. Wow. That hurts.
Meanwhile, Paul Manafort chilling like a straight villain.
Yeah.
And Lil Wayne,
come on, man.
Deuces.
Lil Wayne. How you go? Were they the first rappers to get pardoned?
Mm-hmm.
He should have posthumously.
Kodak Black.
You know what he should have done? Posthumously pardoned Tupac for all that crap he went through.
Fuck yeah.
Law enforcement and Biggie.
I guess
Get me started.
69 is he's Canadian, right? So he's not even he couldn't even be pardoned, right? Isn't he a Canadian jail?
I don't know.
Who?
I don't know. 6x9.
Yeah.
Takashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
He's in jail.
Yeah.
Takashi, yeah.
Oh, the snitches get snitches. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
snitches get stitches, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he better be. He finds himself in a precarious situation, I assure you.
So, CJ, I've been waiting to have you back.
Uh-oh.
So, Callie, CJ grew up in a diplomatic family.
How simple.
And last time we chatted, you said you had a story from your childhood that was for another time. And I've been like dying. I'm like, Brandon, get CJ on so we can tell that story.
Okay, so was it our time in the Philippines, Liberia, Japan? Those are the ones that I remember.
We got time for 3 stories.
I'm not going to take up all the time. Do you remember anything about what I said?
What were we talking about? I don't even remember.
I'm lost too. Do I have the story or does CJ?
It's CJ's story.
I've been to Liberia, but
You been Iberia or Liberia?
It was
both.
It was a story.
You went to Liberia in West Africa?
Yeah, I did.
When were you there?
I was there in 2009.
Oh, this was after the Civil War. Okay.
So let's tell that story.
Yeah.
There were many Liberia stories. What I was expounding on was the fact that the things that happened to us when we were the dependents of diplomats, that's the stuff made for TV like 16 Candles that no one would believe until someone else comes along to corroborate the stories, talking about, hey, remember when the Marine security guards had to come rescue us when we got into the street fight with the locals and we were running down the main street of the Capitol at 2 o'clock in the morning because we got in a fight with the locals? And it was the ambassador's daughter who was visiting from boarding school, you as the defense attaché's son, and a few other kids that were the dependents of high-ranking embassy officials. And at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, as the sun's coming up over the coastline, we were all standing in front of all the flagpoles in the main embassy, tattered, torn, drunken. And all of our parents parents snatching us up by the collars, which ultimately resulted in all of us 15, 16, 17 years old being put on house arrest for 3 months.
Damn. They're messing around.
No, they weren't. We were horrible.
So
we were horrible.
All because of the girl.
No, she was actually, the craziest part about it was, this is back in the day before homosexuality was even a thing. Mm-hmm. And what happened was one of my friends who actually ended up being a Marine, his name was Mark, we were falling out of a bar in an alley. Mind you, we're 16 years old. That already gives you a perspective of what it is. Yeah. It was a contingent. He was half brown and I was full brown. And we were the only 2 people with melanin in the entire group of 13, 14. So one of the locals goes to do a handshake with him. Mind you, we're 15, 16-year-old kids, and refuses to let go of his handshake and subsequently begins to cuff one of his buttocks. You see, I'm using all my formalized words. Wow. And he is so small in stature that he is not able to pull away. From the buttocks? From the grip, the iron grip. Man. Insert a 6'4", blonde-haired, blue-eyed quarterback who's only been in the country 3 days because he transferred from Japan, embassy in Japan, stumbling out of the bar. Oh. Subsequently, I still hang out with him. And when I get down to St. Pete for your retirement time, I'll be making sure I invite him so he can corroborate this story too.
Awesome.
He lives down there. He owns a construction company.
Oh, right on.
He falls out of the bar and sees what's going on. And he goes and literally pops the dude, knocks him down. I told you we're in an alley. We're deep into an alley. By the time I come out of the bar, and that bar was owned by Lebanese. Mind you, the crazy part about it was during that time in the 80s when we were doing that, the U.S. Embassy would give all the dependents as kids, they'd give us these jobs. In reality, they were just jobs to do something. But, we'd come home post-tax with about $200, $300 for the paycheck. And what was our thing to do when the dollar was king was run downtown to the local economy and trade currency with Libyans and the Lebanese, who were all the shop and business owners, because they wanted American dollars in green. And the bigger the dollar, the higher the currency transaction. So I could take my $20 bill downtown and get 100 Liberian dollars for it.
Wow.
So that led to a culture of serial abuse by all the dependent kids, because money was never an issue for us. And when we did get in trouble, you know, it ultimately came down to a conversation of, how much is this going to cost? And then the shop owner, the store owner, the hotel owner would tell us, and we'd be like, is that in American dollars or Liberian dollars? And once they'd agree on a price, we just hand the hat around, and everybody would take the money and we'd pay, and the Marine security guards would scoop us up and we'd jet out. So now fast forward back to the story. He clocks this Liberian dude, this national, in the alley. And by the time I fall out of the bar, the entire alley is filled with the locals. And they're raring to start a brawl.
Oh, it's about an international incident.
Yeah. So during that time, one of the things that was unique about me was my dad was in the military attaché office. So one of the things that I did that was ironic was I was always the responsible kid out of our group. I always used to carry this radio that was about twice as tall as a Gentleman Jack, and it was a Motorola radio, and it had access to the embassy net. Everybody was connected through CBs, and everyone was required to keep a radio unit in their house. And each one of the people from each one of them had a call sign to go along, and each subsequent dependent had a designation with it. So I was Eagle 5 Bravo. My mom was Eagle 5 Alpha. My dad was Eagle 5. There were many a times that you heard on the net in the late hours of night during the weekends in Liberia. Eagle 5, Eagle's Nest, Eagle 5 Bravo. We'll talk about that. Yes, as they had to come get us
home.
But this incident in particular was hilarious because we were also one of the people in our contingent was not an American. He was Lebanese, private industry over there. And as this whole thing is going, I'm literally trying to shuffle our group out of the alley into the awaiting SUVs. As I'm telling everybody to shut up and get them into the trucks and stuff like that. And I'm about to step in like Mel Gibson in We Were Soldiers, being the last person to step off the battlefield. I hear this, hey, you, slave to the white man.
Oh.
I did tell you I was drinking, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I stopped prophetically like a TVC and stepped foot off the platform, walked back over, and I said, what did you say? He said, my brother, I call you slave to the... He never could get the rest of it out. Emotion.
Oh, man.
At which point reality hits me. I'm in a mob.
Yeah, you crazy, man. They cutting off limbs over there. You nuts. Shit.
Yes. So I rush back to the truck and hop in, and we can't go anywhere because now the mob is rocking the SUVs back and forth. And the drivers that are third country nationals are telling us the only way we're getting out of this is to get out of the truck and run for our lives.
Wow.
So we subsequently began to jump out the truck, and we're
running. So how big's the crowd outside?
I would say probably 80, 90, possibly 100.
Holy
man, they come out the woodwork.
It came out the woodwork. And so the crazy part about in Monrovia, Liberia, most of the embassies were on the top of this hill, one of the highest peaks in the country called Mamba Point. So the American embassy, the British embassy, the French embassy, all of the German embassy were all on this hill. So we're literally running down the main street of the Capitol, 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to run uphill with a mob behind us chasing us, to include local militia. And I'm on the big ass radio like this, screaming, Eagle's Nest, Eagle's Nest, Eagle 5 Bravo.
Help me.
Yes, and that bitchy whine. Subsequently, the Marines come over the top of the hill like in a movie in an armored personnel carrier. They have mobilized in the embassy and come out of a gate that rarely gets open. They come over the top of the hill. That armored personnel carrier does a 3-point turn or 2 of the 3-point turns. The back door comes down. The turret swivels. Some gunfire ensues. We are all picked up and tossed in and brought back to the embassy. Needless to say, it was not a good morning.
Just shooting the bird on the way up once you were in the vehicle?
I was scared shitless because the fact that it escalated like that. The most ironic part, as a 16-year-old young man, I can say with pride in hindsight, that was the last time that I got my ass whooped. My father literally whooped my ass, literally.
Yeah,
I wondered what Eagle 50 did to Eagle 50 Bravo. That was question number 2.
No, it wasn't 50, it was 5. That's how high up he was. Mind you, the Eagle is the ambassador.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, so that was one of my many entertaining stories. And then the funny part was, fast forward 15 something years later, we're going to do a Germany deployment to Joint Forge at the height of the Civil War. That's why I asked you when you were there. And we get off the airplane in Ramstein. We're downloading pallets and stuff like that. And the chief pilot comes up to me. I'm barely just out of being a newbie co-pilot. He goes, CJ, you used to live in Liberia, didn't you? I was like, yes, sir. He's like, do you still know the language and the topography? I was like, that was a lifetime ago. He says, but you know, you could. I was like, I can't tell you yes, I can't tell you no.
You can get us to the bar.
Finish in dock with the maintenance and everything, and we head to the rooms at Simbach. I'm in there expecting a phone call from some of the people I know in Germany to go hang out. Yeah. When the phone rings, I'm like, yo, where the hell you been? All this bullshit. They're like, LT Charlton, you're going into crew S with your crew. Your crew show is 12 hours from now. Alpha alert. Oops. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I got cussed out from head to toe for the next 13 days because our deployment was 17 days long. My crew spent 13 days on standby in Rota, Spain, waiting to go into Liberia, Monrovia, Liberia, at the height of the Civil War.
Man,
when were you over there?
Beautiful thing.
I went in 2009. It was so George Bush on his way out was doing his maybe it was 2008. He was doing his like tour through Northern Africa from all that shit. We didn't stay overnight in Monrovia. We stayed at Ascension, and we would fly a bunch of supplies and medical personnel into there. So it was all round robin stuff. So I don't remember much. I didn't get up to the embassy. The one graphic memory I had is that was one of those places where you paid cash for all your fuel and jet services and stuff.
A navigator.
And on one of them, we had a long ass mission. It was from Germany. It was from Spain, I think. And somebody used the shitter, which on the KC-135, you know, that's a no-no, but it had to happen.
No.
So we land, and I talk to the people. I'm paying them their cash for the fuel and everything. I'm like, hey, you know,
the $50,000 cash that you rolled around with,
right? Through a translator, I'm like, I need to empty the latrine, and they're like, okay, whatever. It was like $100, so I gave them an extra $100. You know, they gave me a receipt for it. I shit you not. Like, you've seen our crew chiefs empty it. They put gloves on. They carry it like real gently down. They've got some kind of sanitation truck. This motherfucker went up the ladder, bare hands it, takes the whole box down, walks about 50 feet away from the airplane, and just dumps it onto the asphalt. Shakes it, comes back, goes, slams it back in. I'm like, I guess that's what $100 gets you in Liberia.
Wow. You've got to be kidding.
That was my most graphic memory of Monrovia. Yeah.
So now, an amazing fact. So everyone knows that Liberia is a repatriated slave colony, right?
Yep.
Okay. So does anyone know where the largest rubber deposit and plantation in the world exists?
I would say Akron, Ohio, but I'm probably
no, not where they make tires.
Yeah.
The largest plantation on the planet where they grow and harvest rubber.
I'm assuming
okay.
West Africa.
It's in Liberia.
Yeah.
It's Liberia and the Firestone. So it's amazing because there's so much politics into it that I won't get into. But here's the crazy part. When you think about Firestone, what comes to mind? Definitely not tires.
Yeah.
You think about their service shop.
Yeah.
Because they've long since been shitty when it comes to making tires and nobody. But here's the thing. Firestone provides the rubber to the other companies like Falcon and Dunlop and all of that. This is how they stay in business because the contract that they sign with the Liberian government when they were struggling with currency early on in its inception, basically allowed them to fleece the Liberian country. And they own thousands of acres that they seeded to grow rubber trees and shit like that. And it is just yet another example of colonialism.
Wow. That's impressive.
Huh?
We are doing drunk history, aren't we?
We
I
are
don't see.
doing drunk history.
I'm learning stuff.
Hey, Callie, FYI, CJ is the only guest we ever have on that teaches us things.
We always
Fuck you. But
learning.
I love that. You know, have you had Peaches yet?
No.
Peaches has good like Mormon mission stories, and they are hilarious.
He does.
Mormon, the missionary stories. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a natural storyteller, and he's seen some shit.
Yeah. He's funny.
Yeah.
He went to Colombia, didn't he?
I thought it was Mexico, but maybe it was Colombia. It was a Spanish-speaking country.
Yeah. I think he's fluent in Spanish or something like that.
He is, yeah.
He'd be great to have on the show. He's my favorite Mormon.
Okay.
He
the only one I know.
by far is, yeah. He I think I don't want to talk too much. He was involved, like you hear about Mexican prison and stuff. I literally think he was involved in a Mexican jailbreak, and that's all I'll say. But he's got a story, and legit,
go get it.
He broke somebody out of jail in Mexico.
Peaches.
Yes, I know. I'm as shocked as you are.
That doesn't shock me. Peaches always comes through in the clutch.
Oh yes.
There were firearms involved. I'll say that too.
Wait a minute. You don't understand. Hold on.
I'm not kidding. I would not. I wouldn't shit you.
Peaches.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First of all, his call sign is Peaches.
Figure it out.
Secondly, he's like 5'5",
Yeah. Figure it out.
30 pounds dripping wet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Peaches. He broke somebody out.
There you go.
Armed.
Yep.
Broke somebody out of a Mexican prison.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes. You got to have that. Peter, I am sorry I'm throwing you under the bus here, but the world needs to know.
He does have some great stories though.
He's the only person that doesn't drink that I know that enjoys hanging out with drunks.
I don't understand.
That is such an oxymoron. I never understand it myself either, but it's 100% true. You're right.
I'm sober. I want nothing to do with you fuckers at a party.
Oh, we are assholes. We are not nice people. You know me, right? Yeah. You see me at my worst.
Well, I like to think it's your best, but
it is your best. I've seen you break things. It's beautiful.
I love the sound. It's a sensory thing for me. I love the sound and the feel of just
things cracking and Look at your face now. For those of you that can't see his face, he's like really into it. He's excited.
He's so happy. It's like night one in Boise, Idaho, and we're sitting outside of the patio at whatever bar that was, and we're all just talking. And then next thing you hear is like shattered glass, and then Callie's got that face going. He's not making any noise. And then randomly 8 minutes later, same thing. He would just take his little rocks glass when it's empty and just over the fence and then beer bottle. That's all he would do. If you ever have Callie at your house, CJ, he's a very respectable person.
I'll be
respectful, but you always have to preface it with, if you want to hang out, you can't break anything. But if you don't give him that disclaimer, he'll break something. But if you do, he'll typically.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay to personal.
No.
You have to
talking about at what point do you just lose it when you?
Oh, I would do it sober.
Are we ordering pizza over there?
Blackjack pizza. Y'all blackjack pizza over there?
There's no cooking going on tonight.
I want blackjack pizza. We have blackjack pizza.
We have blackjack. I don't have. Is that a Michigan thing? Do we have blackjack up here? I don't know that.
So, have you had Jets pizza, Kelly?
Yeah, I don't like Jets.
Yeah. Oh, it's basically the same thing as Jets.
Oh, okay. Sure. Too thick.
Yeah. My bougie daughter has come home and let me know that Domino's is not good enough for her.
I like that.
What is she paying for? She must be buying.
You have no business trying to touch this.
Nope.
Just because it's blue doesn't mean it's something nice to drink for you. This is the 11-year-old looking at me like, "Ooh, Daddy, that looks cute."
Powerade.
Ooh, Daddy, is that juice?
This is for peak performance, honey.
Peak performance. Yeah. That's funny.
Always a good thing.
CJ, I like your story.
On the back.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sitting here thinking, how did we not cross paths on the Horn in the Western Hemisphere of Africa?
That would have been sweet. Yeah. You're a gift storyteller, though. I'd like to hear more. I will. What episode was the previous?
You
one?
guys can cross paths on the west coast of Tampa Bay.
I like that.
How about that, sir? Somewhere around the 19th to the 21st of March.
21st of February.
No,
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Oh,
I dare
March?
not eclipse Tyler, but I'm considering retiring this year too. So, but
Really?
I may just get drunk in your honor. But I may be hanging it myself.
Attaboy. You done?
I haven't. Yeah. Are you done, Brandon?
Oh yeah, as of last.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was done about 5
Wow. How is it all of y'all are done?
years. Can't
Look,
tell you.
I
I
think
think
you
you've
do
been
it.
talking. I've been in limbo for like the last 8 years, trying
You don't have
to
20 good
decide
years
if that's
yet.
what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Huh?
Do you have 20 good years yet?
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
I may or may not, because wasn't it once you got into once you hit 18, you were in sanctuary or something like that?
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
So I'm not sure, because I'm currently inactive, but I got all my benefits and privileges. So, and they have asked me to come back to do be a 38 instructor and a T6 instructor. I just can't give the reserves 8 to 10 days of my life anymore, much less pull G's. I am so bad that I don't even bother to put in the need military leave, because my seniority dictates that I don't even have to talk to them about it. Just like it just put me off. I'm good. I'm good.
Nah, yeah, retirement's a good thing.
Yeah. All right. I'm envious. I may join you, but it's all about you, Tyler.
You're getting at least one overnight out of me for that 3-day block.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. I'm excited. This is great.
Now he's excited.
Like I really all I wanted was to go to a dive bar, and now it's a 3-night event. So.
Yeah.
Why would you go to a dive bar?
We love dive bar. You don't know.
I don't know. You're okay. I'm almost as bougie as Brandon, so that's why I'm laughing, because I'm like, Brandon's agreeing to go to a dive bar.
I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, I've seen Brandon in a few dive bars, and he was having a good time. I promise.
Are we talking about Brandon in the custom tailored suits from Hong Kong?
Yeah,
Doing the dive bar?
Abercrombie and Fitch Brandon.
I'll wear that.
Yeah.
Dive bar. Here's the thing. It's like you want to get all dressed up and then go, run through the mud. I don't know.
Go
You're
hogging.
just gonna go slumming. You're just gonna go slumming.
Slumming. That's the word, not hogging.
That's okay, BA.
All right, gents. I gotta take off.
All right, brother. Thanks for being
It was
on,
a
man.
great time. Nice meeting you, CJ.
Same here.
I will look forward to March.